going on, guys? Snake Guys here, playing some more Dark Souls 2, and in this video I'm going to show you how to beat the Smelter demon. This was actually requested to me by a subscriber, and I told him that I had to clear a couple of areas before I get to this boss. But right here I'm actually starting from the very beginning because there's actually a lot to say about this boss. And if you're looking to deal more damage with him and you're confident in dodging all of his moves, I recommend using the dark pine resin, the gold pine resin, or the aromatic ooze. But if you're looking to probably take a couple more hits, because when he gets into his flame sword stage, it's best to dodge all of those moves. You can tank them, but the shields that can block 90 to 100% of the fire damage are great shields, and that's the Rebel Great Shield and the Gurm Great Shield. I don't recommend those because those are pretty damn heavy, and unless you're used to playing like that, I don't recommend those. Another thing you can get is the small orange burrs that you get from Rosabeth when you unpetrify her. Those actually reduce fire damage, and you can also buy the flame quartz ring, and that gives you more defense against fire as well. And I definitely recommend picking up that ring because it's only 2,000 souls, and it doesn't help out a whole lot, but just that extra bit does help out. And right here he gets added defense, so you can't really do too much damage, but I do recommend just going in, getting a couple of hits. When he jumps up like that, just back up, because there's really no way to tell whether or not he's going to do that blast that he did. So just get a couple steps back, and the recover time is actually good enough so you can actually walk up and do a couple of hits. In this part of the fight, when he gets flame body and he still doesn't have flame sword, I recommend dodging most of his attacks, because if you put up your shield, you can actually block 100%. You really don't have to worry until he gets to about right here. And then when he gets right here, that's when he's his most dangerous. And this is where I say that it's not really that great to go with the Great Shield unless you're used to playing like that, because with a regular shield like the one that I have, if I even try to block those attacks, they still take off a good amount of damage, and then they still take off stamina, so that's not really something that you'd want to do. But if you have a couple extra human effigies, I recommend summoning Lucatiel. If you know how to use some spells, I recommend summoning her, because she can get his attention while you can blast a couple of spells. But keep in mind that when you summon NPC phantoms, the bosses get more health. It makes them a little bit more harder to kill, so that's something that you want to kind of weigh and figure out whether or not that's what you want to do. But when he does those overhead attacks, wait a second and then dodge, because if you dodge too early, he's still going to get you with it, and his second attack would definitely hit, because that's just how it works for some reason. I actually fought him like for 2 hours last night, and it just wasn't working out for me. I was already playing, I had gotten through a couple of areas, and it just wasn't working. And as soon as I logged on today, I beat him on the first try. So that also kind of plays into, if you're having trouble with him, I recommend leaving the area and coming back at a later time, mainly because when you start messing up in these types of boss fights, it's just best to kind of just take a breather from it. One thing that you do need to know, though, is that when he gets into that third stage of his form that he's in now, that blast is actually, it spreads wider, so you need to take a couple extra steps back. And when he's in low health like this, just whenever you find an opportunity to use an item, use it. And then when you need to go in, and don't be scared. Right here I was a little bit nervous because I thought he was going to do the blast, but he didn't. And in a time like that, you just got to say screw it and just kind of go off. But that's going to wrap it up. One other thing is that if you're having hard times when to use like the orange burrs or like the aromatic oozes and whatever, when he's switching from phase to phase, that's a perfect time to use an item. Use whatever you need to do, and do what you need to do. And I really hope it helps, man. I hope you're not having too much trouble with this boss, but if you are, like I said, maybe go do some other things and then come back, and he'd probably be a lot easier. So like I said, I hope it helps out. And for all the rest of you guys, leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you haven't already, and until next time, take care.